Think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. We're here this morning for our Administrative Matters meeting. I call this meeting to order, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen Stevens. I'm Chair of the Board of County Commissioners. With me are my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Jody Shattuck McNally and Commissioner John Kafalis. From the clerk's office, helping us record the minutes, we have Lindsay Jones. And instead of our county manager this morning, we have our acting county manager, Leslie. And we have from our sorry, it's been a morning. From Tom Clayton from our Leslie Ellis is our Community Planning, Infrastructure, and Resources Director, and she will be acting county manager. We have Tom Clayton from Public Relations and Sarah Martin from the Commissioner's Office. So welcome, everyone. We'll begin as we always do with public comment. Do we have? I don't have the sign up. That's all right. That's all right. But I'm assuming that Cindy is here for public comment. So Cindy, we'll have you come up and you'll have 3 minutes. Sarah, was there anyone else signed up besides Cindy?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, Cindy, come on up and we'll give you 3 minutes.
Cindy Buckhart, president of the Larimer County 4-H Foundation. July 19th, I sent an email, and in that email, I clearly spoke of the Poultry Memorial Scholarships and described that it was in memory of 3 poultry 4-H members, and even sent a picture of them. On July 22nd, I came and I spoke to you again about the poultry scholarships. The foundation heard nothing until July 24th when Lori Cadrich sent an email, and in that email, Lori wrote, I understand that in the past, the foundation has set up a table in the barn and sold tickets for prearranged items. The foundation has never set up a table in the barn, nor have they sold prearranged tickets. Lori should have done her due diligence, because she would have found out that the foundation only receives the funds. Lori also stated the foundation may explore a partner organization, which the foundation did. Last week, during my comments, I asked specifically who the foundation needed to address about the partner organization. As I recollect, none of you answered my question. I had shared with the county fair poultry superintendents what was taking place. The Larimer County 4-H Foundation receives the funds from the bird treaty, the silent auction items, as well as the baskets that are sold at the carnival. And because we receive the funds and administer the scholarships, our concern was that the ranch would stop the fundraiser if they found out about the foundation being the recipient of the funds. So the foundation was attempting to be proactive. However, as you know, Lori Cadridge said the foundation was no longer permitted to conduct activities on the ranch campus. The superintendent reaches out to me to get the contact information for Connor McGrath. Amazingly, the Memorial Scholarship fundraiser moves forward. Why is it that the foundation explains all about the scholarship with great care and is immediately turned down, but a superintendent explains it and all is good, which we are happy about? As far as Connor being unaware about this particular scholarship, perhaps if he had attended our meetings as requested, reviewed our website, or attended the scholarship awards which he was invited to, he would have learned about this scholarship and the many others that the foundation provides, which are almost all memorials. It has been referred to the foundation in the Larimer County being at an impasse. Impasse means no progress is possible, especially because of a disagreement. The foundation has been attempting to make progress. However, we've been shut down for noncompliance. There's never been any discussion between the foundation and Larimer County. I've been coming to speak for the past 4 months trying to get a discussion going, and all I get from you is we support 4-H, just not the foundation. As Connor said, the central focus should be on youth development through 4-H, which must remain at the core of any programming. And is that not the mission of the Larimer County 4-H Foundation? What is really frustrating is that I get 3 minutes, and that is why I sent the email on July 19th, to be able to explain about the scholarships. I appreciate you giving kudos to Connor, but if you'd been supportive of the Larimer County 4-H Foundation all along, this would never have occurred.
Thank you, Cindy. Is there anyone else in the audience who wanted to give public comment? I don't see any hands raised. Sarah, was there anyone who wanted to call in with public comment?
No, Commissioner.
Okay, then we'll close public comment, bring it back to the commissioners. Commissioners, any comments? Commissioner Kafalis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Once again, Cindy, thank you for taking the time to be present. And one thing that I gleaned from your statement, your most recent one, is that you are happy that we are able to move forward with the Memorial Poultry Scholarship Program. So I am grateful for that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah, I don't have any comments other than to say I'm glad we found a way for the poultry scholarship to move forward. And, I actually do believe we're in an impasse, and I hope there's a way to get beyond that. And I don't know what that is at this point. So, but thank you, Cindy, for your comments. So we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is approval of the minutes. Commissioner Kafalis, will you make that motion, please?
Yes, I'd be delighted to. I move to approve the minutes for the week of July 28th, 2025.
Thank you, Commissioner. Motion on the table. Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 3-0. And we'll move on to Sarah with our upcoming schedule review.
This is the Commissioner's schedule for August 11th through the 16th, 2025. On Monday, August 11th, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the Behavioral Health Policy Council meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it will be at 2260 West Trilby Road in Fort Collins or virtually via Zoom. From 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be a work session regarding addressing resolution in the Commissioner's conference room on the second floor. From 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., there will be a work session with Leslie Ellis, Director of Community Planning, Infrastructure, and Resources in the Commissioner's conference room on the second floor. From 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., there will be land use items with the Development Review Team. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it will be in the hearing room on the first floor or virtually via Zoom. On Tuesday, August 12th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be an Administrative Matters meeting in the hearing room on the first floor. From 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m., there will be Administrative Direction to County Management in the Sprague Lake Conference Room on the second floor. From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will attend the Environmental and Science Advisory Board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it will be in the Carter Lake Conference Room on the first floor or virtually via Zoom. From 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally will attend the Loveland Urban Renewal Authority Board meeting at the Loveland City Council chambers. at 500 East 3rd Street in Loveland. On Wednesday, August 13th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual State Forest Health Council meeting. From 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual National Association of Counties Rural Action Caucus meeting. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the Joint Workforce Development Board meeting at the Ames Community College Welcome Center at 4901 West 20th Street in Greeley. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual National Association of Counties Environment, Energy, and Land Use Policy Steering Committee meeting. From 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., there will be a work session for Behavioral Health Services to present 2025 Impact Fund Grant Award recommendations in the Commissioners' Conference Room on the second floor. From 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., there will be a work session regarding performance measures for human and economic health in the Commissioners' Conference Room on the second floor. From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., there will be a Commissioners/Planning Commission work session in the Boyd Lake Conference Room on the first floor. On Thursday, August 14th, from 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., Commissioner Stevens may attend the Fort Collins Downtown Development Board meeting at Innosphere Ventures at 320 Vine Drive in Fort Collins. From 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual Larimer County Interagency Oversight Group meeting. From 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the Office on Aging Advisory Council meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it will be at 200 Peridot Avenue in Loveland or virtually via Zoom. From 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual Fort Collins Urban Renewal Authority Finance Committee meeting. On Friday, August 15th, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., Commissioners may participate in the virtual Counties and Commissioners Acting Together member check-in. On Saturday, August 16th, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., Commissioners will attend the Cameron Peak Fire Commemoration event at the Poudre Canyon Fire Station No. 2 at 33689 Poudre Canyon Road in Bellevue.
Thank you. Sarah, any corrections or additions to the schedule? Commissioner? Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you normally include this, but on Friday the 15th, I'll be doing a ride-along with one of our emergency responders, BAM. We'll be out in the mountains, climbing walls and rescuing people from the rivers and doing all sorts of good things. But if you deem it appropriate, you can include that, but maybe just because it's me, we don't include things like that.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. I hope you enjoy your adventure-filled day. And that sounds like fun, and we will add that to the calendar. Anything else, Commissioner Shattuck? I don't have anything either. Thank you very much, Sarah. So we will move on to the consent agenda. We have 33 abatements, petitions for abatements or refund of taxes. And lucky for you, I won't read through all 33 of those. So you can find more information if you'd like, though, on the website. Then we have 3 agreements, and the first agreement is a cooperative forest road agreement. This renews the longstanding agreement between the Forest Service and Larimer County that's set to expire on August 6th of this year. This agreement is referred to as the Schedule A agreement and allows Larimer County to perform maintenance on Forest Service-owned roads. And it also includes a mechanism for the Forest Service to provide materials to Larimer County and reimburse Larimer County for work performed outside the scope of the base agreement. And that new agreement will run through August 6th of 2030. We have a lease agreement that is a lease to the town of Johnstown to operate in the Emergency Operations Center facility. This agreement will run roughly 8.5 years based on the final costs of the buy-in, and will include a $150,000 payment from Johnstown to Larimer County. And the final agreement on the schedule is a municipal law enforcement services agreement by and between Larimer County and the town of Wellington. We provide, the Sheriff's Department provides law enforcement services in the town of Wellington, and the term is ongoing, so no end to that term. We have one appointment, a recommended midterm appointment to the Namaqua Hills General Improvement District. This is for Joe Clark, and his term will end on that board on November 30th, 2027. We have 3 liquor licenses. One is a liquor license renewal for Four Seasons Liquor, located around Fort Collins, and that's a retail liquor store license. We have a renewal for the Hilltop General Store and Antiques LLC in the Red Feather Lakes area, and that is a retail liquor store license. And then finally, a liquor license new issuance for Regen Fitness Club LLC, and that is a beer and wine license. And the last item on our consent agenda is a reimbursement resolution. This resolution allows the county to reimburse itself using certificates of participation, or what we call COPs, proceeds from the ranch project expenditures, which were incurred prior to the issuance of the COPs. So that is all for the consent agenda. Would either commissioner want to remove anything from the consent agenda? Nope, seeing no hands raised. Commissioner Shattuck McNally, I'll have you make the motion on that item.
Certainly, Madam Chair. I move to approve the consent agenda for August 5th, 2025.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Any further discussion on any of these items? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 3-0. And our next item is commissioner's guests. Do either commissioner have a guest? Nope. Lots of wonderful people in the audience, but none of, frankly, you're all our guests. But so we will move on to our first discussion item. And this is an exciting item. It is the proclamation for Larimer County Farmers Market Week. And we have Maggie Switzer, who will be presenting on this item. So, and I think she has lots of wonderful folks with her. But Maggie, we'll have you come on up and talk to us about Farmers Market.
Good morning. On behalf of the Larimer County Farmers Market, I'd like to extend my gratitude to the Board of County Commissioners for their continuing support of our efforts at the market. The Larimer County Farmers Market is one of the oldest in the state and the oldest in northern Colorado. In 2026, next year, we will celebrate our 50th anniversary, which is a testament to the years of dedicated volunteers, staff, community members, and local agricultural producers and food businesses that have gotten us to this point. And I'll give a special shout out to the Master Gardeners who are celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, and who have been our dedicated volunteers at the market for a long time and originally started the market 50 years ago. So the Larimer County Farmers Market has been a leader in food systems work and food access programming in the community for nearly 20 years. We have accepted SNAP at the market, also one of the oldest in the state to do so. We have distributed and collected Double Up food bucks since its inception at the state level, and we continue to implement our own Market Days for Older Adults program, one of the only senior-focused farmers market food access programs in the state. So it's just a testament to our commitment to food access and food systems work to operate and implement these programs, even doing it ourselves. We also have expanded food access work and food systems work in multiple ways. We partner with the Larimer County Food Bank to implement a Veg Out program where the food bank purchases unsold produce from our local farmers and produce vendors at the market every week, which supports local farmers and supports the food bank at the same time. So it's a fantastic program. We also have expanded local food systems work and efforts to get local food into local restaurants by having a Farm to Local Biz event in the wintertime, where local restaurants and food businesses are networking with our local producers to be able to serve their food at the restaurants. So there's been an expansion of local food systems work stemming from the Larimer County Farmers Market. So we'd also like to thank the Board of County Commissioners for their recognition, as well as the general public for their support of Larimer County's flagship farmers market.
Thank you, Maggie. Any questions for Maggie or about the farmers market? Go ahead, Commissioner. Sorry, Commissioner Shattuck McNally.
Thank you. Good morning. I have a clarifying question and then a couple other questions. Did you say our farmers market is the oldest in Colorado or older in northern Colorado? Can you
It's
say that again?
the oldest in northern Colorado.
Okay.
One of the oldest in the state.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I heard that right. Maggie, since you've come on, you've added some new and fun things, and I appreciate all that you do. I understand there was a food tasting, soil health food tasting. I didn't know that was happening, and I was like, oh, I would have loved that because I'm a big soil health fan. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
So on July 26th, we had the second soil health celebration day at the market. And we partnered with our ag and natural resources specialist in our office to put on a food testing competition or food tasting competition. So we had a number of foods from peaches, mushrooms, cucumbers, tomatoes, milk, and we bought sort of commercial, conventional products from Costco, and then we compared them with products sourced from the market, so from a lot of our local vendors, and then we gave little like sample cups of each one to people, and then people could vote on which one was better. And overwhelmingly, the local food did taste better to people when doing this blind taste test, so that was really fun. And we had a huge amount of pounds of food that we moved through because everyone lined up for those free samples. So, especially things like the milk and the mushrooms, and tomatoes and peaches tasted a lot better sourced locally. So,
Great. I really appreciate that, and thank you for expanding on that because I had saw it and I'm like, oh, I would love to have done that. So I'll have to keep that. I hope you'll repeat it. It sounds like it was very successful.
It was a big hit.
Yeah. And also, I saw the Master Gardeners at the Fair and Rodeo, and I saw that I was going to go say hi, but they had quite a few people asking them questions, just like the beekeepers. So I will probably have to stop by later today and say hi again. But thank you for being present there too. And really grateful for all those volunteers. I'm very proud of our partnerships and the work we do together for the fair, the Larimer County Farmers Market. I do try to. I go to lots of farmers markets around the region, visiting my family, and they're really nice for those community. But I always feel like, wow, ours is really special here, and that's a lot of testament to the work that you do and your team does to make the market very successful and a collaborative partnership between the vendors who come and set up. And I know that's probably a lot more work than a lot of us realize. And I know you tirelessly work to get that organized and make sure we're communicating with everyone. So I just want to say big kudos to you and your whole team and Carrie and all the people in the audience today. I know it takes a team and all you work so hard. I love coming to my book story time, and it just seems like there's lots of special things for families. And I had an idea for maybe another idea. Is there's so many dogs that come with their families, and I just love to take. I love taking selfies with horses and dogs. You can tell from my social media, but they seem to like it. And I have my first cow. His name is Chunk Norris, and he was at the fair. And if you want to see the picture, he's pretty friendly. You can climb all over him. I've seen the pictures. I'm not ready to do that yet, but I was wondering. I just had this idea of maybe having a dog costume like the corgi thing through the market, and maybe the commissioners can judge. I think that might be kind of fun, but just an idea. Just if you don't have to do it, but I just thought just so many dogs and everyone loves to see all their dogs. I think maybe kind of fun. But I think the point is though, this is wonderful food producers and vendors who bring local products that are locally sourced, and it's really good health for our community and in so many ways. It's building community, it's connections. I know a lot of older adults, it's kind of their social thing to come and listen to all the music and connect and get food and see others, and the vibrancy and just the positive vibe that comes out of the market. And so it's more than just selling, our summer fruits and vegetables and other vendors. It is really a wonderful community connector, and I just wanted to thank you all from my heart, my heartfelt gratitude for the work that you do. I'm not sure you may not know the ripples and legacy of the work and how that impacts anyone that comes to the market. I haven't found hardly anyone, maybe 1 out of 1,000 people that had anything negative to say about the market. And so I just want to thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kapalus, any questions or comments?
Or you're adding comments now?
Sure, why not? Commissioner Shattuck McNally gave some comments, so I think
Yes,
that would be in order.
I'll. How about this? I'll offer a question that I'd like to know more about, and then, assuming there's be time for some closing comments after the proclamation is read and maybe other folks speak. My question is, well, first of all, I appreciate the reference to the taste testing and as it relates to locally grown, and my wife Beth was there that day, and she came home and said, "Yep, the locally produced mushrooms are much better than the ones that come from far away." So that's great that we did that. My question is this: can you tell us again or remind us how is it that we recruit vendors, local food producers, and there may be a waiting list. Is there a waiting list? And I mean, how do we balance that with bringing in folks? And there's only so much room at the parking lot. But it seems like every Saturday when we're able to go, it's just such a great energy and a lot of folks. And so, how do we go about recruiting people? And what is that relationship like?
Well, thankfully, since we're such a long-standing and popular farmers market, we don't have to do tons of recruitment of vendors. A lot of vendors come to us. And so we have applications at the early part of the year from January to March. And then after that, we close because we are just full for the season of those that we've accepted. Agricultural producers are the first ones in the door. And so I work with partner organizations in the area, such as NOCO Food Shed Project, which has a farm accelerator program to support new and beginning farmers. And so sometimes there's a funnel of those farmers into our market where we've gotten numerous local farms that come out of that program, which is really great. And they go through CSU's beginning farmer training program. So that's like a really great funnel. But during the year, if you're interested to apply, there's not necessarily a wait list. You'll just have to wait for next year to apply just from the application period, because we build the schedule in March or April for the year so that businesses know when they're expected to show up and they know how many days they have at the market, and then it's full for the year. So
does that process apply the same way you just described, Maggie, to regulars? I mean, folks that have been there year after year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're on our website and our rules and regulations. There's a list of prioritization, and we prioritize returning vendors, particularly Larimer County local vendors. And so actually majority of our vendors come from Larimer County, but returning, first of all, agricultural producers, but then returning food businesses after that.
Thank you. Thanks, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Maggie. Really great information here. Can you remind us how do double up food bucks work?
So if you're a SNAP shopper with an EBT card, you can come to the market and use your card, and typically people get $20 off their card. And then we provide an extra $20, up to $20 each week, that can only be spent on fruits and vegetables at the market, and mushrooms and microgreens, which are also included in produce, but people forget those sometimes. And so it's a statewide program administered through Nourish Colorado, and we're an implementer through them. And so we were one of the first ones in the state when the state granted Colorado with Double Up Food Bucks. We were one of the first markets to sign on with that program. So it's just an incentive program to add more fruits and vegetables to a SNAP customer's diet. So.
Wonderful. Thanks for explaining that. And I know you have a group of people. Is there anybody else who wants to speak, or you don't have to. Just thank you for being here.
Yes.
Yeah, we will take a photo. We'll have Commissioner Kafalis read the proclamation, and then we will do a motion, and then we'll take the photo, if that sounds fine with everyone. Okay. Yep. Commissioner Kafalis, you're on then. Are you fine with that?
And I'll have a chance to make a couple of comments.
And then we will have an opportunity to make some comments. That's correct, after the proclamation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You're most kind and gracious this morning. Proclamation, Larimer County Farmers Market Week, August 3rd through the 9th, 2025. Whereas Larimer County farmers and ranchers provide community members with access to healthful, locally and regionally produced foods through farmers markets, which are expanding and evolving to accommodate the demand for a diverse array of agricultural products. And whereas farmers markets and other agricultural direct marketing outlets provide infrastructure to assist in the distribution of farm and value-added products, thereby contributing approximately $9 billion each year to the U.S. economy. And whereas farmers markets serve as significant outlets by which small to medium, new and beginning and veteran agricultural producers market agricultural products, generating revenue in support that supports the sustainability of family farms and the revitalization of rural communities nationwide. And whereas Larimer County Board of Commissioners, county commissioners, recognizes the importance of expanding agricultural marketing opportunities that assist and encourage the next generation of farmers and ranchers, generate farm income to help stimulate business development and job creation, build community connections through rural and urban linkages, and more. Whereas the Larimer County Board of Commissioners recognize the importance of improving access to federal nutrition benefit programs such as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, and locally run food access programs such as Market Days for Older Adults program implemented at the Larimer County Farmers Market. And whereas the Larimer County Climate Smart Future Ready plan calls for supporting and expanding regional agriculture, as well as supporting and expanding access to local food markets. Now, therefore, to further awareness of farmers markets' contributions to Larimer County life, we, the Larimer County Board of County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the week of August 3rd through the 9th, 2025 as Larimer County Farmers Market Week in conjunction with the observance of National Farmers Market Week. We call upon Larimer County community members and visitors to celebrate farmers markets with appropriate observance and activities. Dated this day, the 5th day of August, 2025. That was a lovely proclamation. Oh, do we need the motion?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see. I move to approve the proclamation declaring August 3rd through the 9th, 2025 as Farmers Market Week.
Thank you, Commissioner Kafalis. There's a motion on the table, and I imagine there is further discussion. Is there any further discussion? Go ahead.
I'll try to be brief. I just wanted to shout out for everyone, and I appreciate the work. And like I said a moment ago, whenever I'm able to go to the market, just such a really genuine energy that is there. Folks are, it is, for me, the most important thing. Well, there are a lot of important things, but building community is really a big deal. And certainly providing an outlet for local producers to run their businesses and grow locally grown food. I would be remiss if I hope this is okay, do a bit of a shout out, a big shout out actually to a wonderful volunteer and friend over the years who passed away recently, Dr. Tony Koski, Colorado State University professor. He passed away, and there was a wonderful reception at the Trial Gardens, at the Flower Gardens. And whenever I would go to the market, regardless of anything, Tony would be there smiling, volunteering, just a wonderful, genuine personality. And I was very glad and honored to know him, and just wanted to acknowledge his life and his legacy and all his contributions to everything. And even though we diligently discussed the means for ridding the world of bindweed, I don't believe we've actually succeeded. The bindweed continues to prevail despite mites and every best method, integrated pest management, and so on and so forth. And then, I guess in closing, I just think I just appreciate that we're making a difference because, for example, with the Ag Advisory Board, one of our activities as part of our work plan is working with CSU to do an economic impact study, and preliminary results of that show that we are increasing the percentage of food that is produced locally that is being consumed locally, and there's a lot of benefits to that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Shattuck McNally, any closing words?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate that. I'll just kind of repeat some things, but I just wanted to reinforce that I really believe our Larimer County Farmers Market is a vital community hub that really connects our residents and consumers with local farmers and fostering a really strong local economy and promoting access to locally owned produce. And sorry, I just had this, and that it's really a unique experience transcending just buying produce, but social connections and celebrating our local agriculture and strengthening those relationships, which is really important for a thriving Larimer County. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, well, thank you, Maggie, and everyone who's here. We really appreciate you being here to declare August 3rd through 9th as Farmers Market Week. I think we all have a great love for Farmers Market. We've all read stories at Farmers Market, which is really a fun way for us to interact with people at the market. And it was said before, it's remarkable because it's an economic, producer. It encourages social interaction. So there's a lot of people that just go to the farmers market kind of to hang out. I mean, it's definitely the place to be on a Saturday morning. And then there's the aspect that we're really actually helping people who need food, right? With the senior program, the double up food bucks, the fact that people can use their SNAP benefits, really that access to fresh and healthy food that's locally grown is just so great for all our residents, but specifically for people who rely on food benefits. And as we know at the federal level, food benefits are in danger, and many people will either lose food benefits or will have them severely curtailed. I don't, people might not get as much money as they're used to getting, and so that makes the programs like this even more important. And the fact that the food bank can come and buy produce from local vendors, this really just is. It's remarkable in so many ways. And so thank you for the work that you've done to bring in really great vendors. My favorite breakfast sandwich is Jersey Cowboys. Try to go as often as I can to get that pork roll breakfast sandwich, which so I hope they stay as a vendor. But yeah, it is just the vibrancy and the fact that it brings our community together for so many good reasons, and really helps our agricultural sector, local farmers to get their products out to people in the community, and that piece is so important. So we thank you for all your work, and we'll look forward to a photo in just a second, but we do have a motion on the table, and so all in favor say aye.
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 That motion passes 3-0. Okay, we will pause for a photo. Thank you, everyone. Well, we are back, and thank you to the folks that came out from Extension this morning to talk about and proclaim Farmers Market Week. That was a fun interlude. We just have all kinds of good news items today, and our second good news item is the 2025 Starburst Award to the Larimer County Department of Natural Resources, and this will be presented by the Colorado Lottery. So welcome.
All right. Good morning,
Good morning.
Commissioners. Jen Olmsted with Natural Resources, and I have the pleasure of introducing three special guests this morning, including Adrienne Varney with the Colorado Lottery, Marilyn Hilgenberg with the City of Loveland Open Lands and Trails, and Julia Fetter with City of Fort Collins Natural Areas Department. In the fall of 2022, Canyon Edge Open Space was listed for sale on the open market and was at risk for potential development in an area extremely vulnerable to 35-acre and greater subdivisions. Larimer County, with the generous support from the City of Fort Collins and the City of Loveland, took swift and immediate action to purchase Canyon Edge Open Space for $9 million before it was lost forever. Thanks to the funds from Colorado Lottery, Great Outdoors Colorado awarded a $1.5 million grant to Larimer County to permanently protect Canyon Edge Open Space. This grant was part of GOCO's Centennial Program, which invests in high-value, once-in-a-generation projects that have lasting impacts on the state and for future generations. The GOCO grant reimbursed the county for a portion of the purchase, replenishing critical open space acquisition funds. On behalf of Larimer County, the City of Loveland, and Fort Collins, we applied for a Starburst Award, which I'll let Adrienne explain, but wanted to give a little background there. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Adrienne.
Thank you, Jen. Welcome, Adrienne.
Thanks, Jen. Good morning, Commissioners, and everyone else who had to rearrange the agenda for me a little bit. I wasn't about to let one forgotten speech, Denver morning traffic, 2 20-minute accidents, 2 frontage roads, and a really faulty streetlight keep me from getting here today. So thank you for the adjustment in the agenda. I appreciate it. My name, as Jen said, I'm Adrienne Varney. I'm the Proceeds Manager for the Colorado Lottery. I'm honored to be here today to celebrate Canyon Edge Open Space, to recognize it as one of this year's Colorado Lottery Starburst Awards. Each year, just a little background on the awards, hundreds of projects across Colorado use lottery proceeds for parks, open space, recreation, and schools, but only a small handful, to date less than 3%, receive this recognition. Canyon Edge Open Space earned it not because it's just a land conservation win, it's a perfect reflection of the lottery's core mission. At the Colorado Lottery, our charge is simple, but impactful: to maximize proceeds for parks, trails, open spaces, and schools, and to do that responsibly so that every single ticket sold becomes an investment in Colorado's future. The $1.5 million GOCO grant that helped protect this land was funded entirely with lottery dollars, and that's exactly what those dollars are meant to do: support once-in-a-generation projects that will have a lasting value for the people, wildlife, and communities of Colorado. And Canyon Edge Open Space is just that kind of place. Gives me goosebumps when I talk about the impact. This land could have been lost to development. Instead, thanks to decisive action from Larimer County, partnered with Fort Collins and Loveland, and every single person who invests in our great outdoors by purchasing a lottery ticket, it's now protected forever. Soon it'll be trails, public access, and outdoor learning spaces for all ages and abilities. But more than that, it will give people a place to breathe, reflect, and connect, and build memories that last a lifetime. At the lottery, we often say that every ticket tells a story. This open space is one of those stories. It's a powerful example of what's possible when people come together to protect the places that make Colorado so special. I want to stress that projects like this don't just fall out of the sky. It takes a vision, a big vision, and a small army of cooperation, collaboration, and partnership. So Thank you all. I take my lottery hat off for a minute and just as a citizen of Colorado, thank you. This is not just a gift to your community, it's a gift to the entire state of Colorado and its wildlife and natural resources. So, as a conservationist and outdoor enthusiast myself, thank you. And now, back with my lottery hat back on behalf of everybody at the lottery, thank you, Larimer County, Fort Collins, Loveland. It's the work that you guys all do that makes my job so amazingly rewarding. So it's my honor to present you with this 2025 Starburst Award for the most excellent use of lottery funding.
Thank you, Adrienne. Thank you very much for your kind words, and I appreciate that. I don't know if Marilyn or Julia, you want to speak at all, or you don't. You don't have to. I feel like I'm forcing people to speak this morning. But.
I'll just say a big thank you to the Board of County Commissioners, to the lottery. We really appreciate Fort Collins. I would say Larimer County is our greatest partner, and we're excited to continue doing this work together. So thank you.
Great.
I reflect those same words, and a special thanks to Lottery. In Loveland, we live and die by those lottery dollars. Honestly, our entire trail system has been funded. A few years ago, I did a nice poster of here's our lottery proceeds and what Loveland's used them for. And it's this incredibly fun poster. People at the lottery go, can we have a copy of that? And because it's all the different things, sports fields, outdoor trails, open spaces, some in golf, and it's a reflection of our state and the values that we have. And so thank you. And she's right, this is a perfect project to pull it all together. So thank you.
Thank you. I also want to acknowledge that in the audience we have our Natural Resources Director, Dalen Figgs, our Land Conservation Planning and Resource Division Manager, Megan Flanagan, and our Senior Land Agent, Justin Core, and who are a big part of making projects like this happen. So while they're sort of waiting in the wings for another item, I wanted to acknowledge that they're here as well and hope they'll come up when we take the photo. I think that the commissioners would likely want to make a few comments. I'm going to start with Commissioner Shattuck McNally.
First, thank you, GoCo. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the work that you do. I know I was on the website looking at all the projects that are for all. I guess it just closed. We can't vote on anymore. But there's certain areas throughout the state that are very special to me as well as a Coloradan born and raised, like Hanging Lake and these other projects, which are so vital and such important landscapes and treasures, but also just important habitat and environmental values. And wanted to thank you. I believe you put about $1 million into the Willow Bend natural areas and open space, which is the first universal access playground in the region. I think in the region, if not because I think the Berthoud one is still ongoing, but that one also I think got some support, and it's just such a beautiful area and such a special place. I wanted to thank you for the partnership with Loveland. I really enjoyed being at that ribbon cutting and exploring, and I continue to try out there. I drive by it often. The parking lots are always full, which is really a great sign. So, and then also, this is meaningful to me. I live very near Canyon Edge. I'm the commissioner. I live in unincorporated Larimer County. And this area is very, very, it's my childhood, being born and raised in northern Colorado and traveling up that canyon almost every year of my life. It is something that is treasured by me. I don't want to get emotional here, but it is that view shed and how that looks is protected for future generations. And we were just out there, Megan and Dalen and I, to visit because I wanted to come out and see how it's been progressing as we are expanding and looking at it, letting it rest, taking evaluations. But we jumped out of the car at some of the repairing little areas in the waterways, and we're like, look, there's sedge, and look at this, and look at this. And it was just so great to walk through and see it, but it kind of coming, there's lots of areas that are, with a little bit of care, there's some biodiversity coming back, and the views. And every time I put up that picture, and I know Megan has one of my pictures, but I put up your picture, and everyone's like, "Where is that? That's such a gorgeous place." It's Canyon Edge, and so I thank you for this award. Our staff is just outstanding, and they worked very hard. And Megan and Jen, I know you applied for this grant, and Megan, you did a lot of work for us to be able to purchase that property because it was at risk. I agree with what you said, Jen. It was at risk, and very grateful that us as a board could join with DNR and get this acquisition done and then get this grant. But the Centennial designation and the Starburst Award on top of it, I think really will help highlight the importance of this. As I live just near there, it's a major elk migration area, a bighorn sheep migration area. There's lots of raptors. I know there's been some bears. I have heard bear stories, but I have not seen them. But I know they live in my backyard, and the elk live in my backyard, and no bighorn sheep yet. But I don't think they'll come down that far. But it's such an important area for so many reasons. The conservation values are just numerous, and the value is just immeasurable. It is so important. And I agree that Centennial Award is once in a lifetime generational legacy award and piece. And it's one of those pieces that my children enjoy as they drive up, or hopefully someday maybe grandchildren. My grandpuppies like it out of the car maybe, but the great grandchildren, it's just a generational legacy for all of our children, but all the visitors and everyone, for the view sheds and the conservation values. It's something that, like you said, it's less than 3% of these properties. It's just immeasurable, the value and the importance of this project. And I just thank you for this award and coming here today. I'm sorry. We understand your pain driving back and forth from Denver.
Nothing is going to stop me.
Yeah, when you're determined. But now I'm learning, you can't just plan an extra 15 minutes. You got to plan an extra hour, really. But just thank you for being here. We're very honored to have you here, and very honored for the partnerships with GoCo and with our partners at Loveland and Fort Collins. Without you all in the special ways we layer and protect and work together, I don't see that very often throughout the state. And we are very grateful for our very deep and deep connected partnerships with our municipalities, and especially Loveland Fort Collins, as we have done this work through open spaces and public lands. It is really valued by me, and I want to just thank you all for being here today, and congratulations too for being recognized, and thank you for your work. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Shattuck McNally. Commissioner Gonzalez.
So I think one or two points that I will add. One is that I'm very grateful for the long-standing good track record partnership that we've had with the Colorado Lottery, our partners at the state level. Certainly appreciate the partnerships with our local municipalities. I mean, a lot of this stuff couldn't happen unless we were all working together, figuring out how we're going to leverage resources, funds, create that kind of synergy. And then, of course, our staff, the folks back there that are enjoying their local produce. I mean, they're just really, top of the line, sharp people that when there's an opportunity like this one arose, they know exactly what to do to act and see how we can assemble the partners and figure out a way to preserve that land for many, many generations to come. So thank you for that collaboration. It is a beautiful place. I look forward to walking around in there sometime. But at least when I drive by, I can look at that valley and just be very grateful.
Yeah, thank you, Adrian, for braving North I-25 to be here with us. As someone who works on regional transportation, we are working on it. It is getting better. Segment 5 is, is the bottleneck, and we have the funding to do it, so that's all good. So hopefully in the future you won't encounter that when you come up. But thank you for making the drive up, and we do appreciate the partnership. And I think the kind of legacy that that GoCo and the Colorado Lottery are leaving to our state is monumental, right? I mean, we know how beautiful it is here. Everybody else in this country knows, and the world knows how beautiful it is here. But preserving those spaces is just something we absolutely need to do. And so, your help in doing that is really important to us as we talked about other projects that you've helped with in the community. It's really invaluable. So thank you. And then what a special place. I mean, there's so many special places in our community, but this really is a gateway to, Rocky Mountain National Park and a lot of places that people like to visit, and just seeing that vista and knowing that that's going to be there forever will be able to enjoy that is just remarkable. I had the pleasure of going with Dalen and Megan out there last week, having a little picnic out there, and just seeing how much work that they've done and how the work is really beneficial, really trying to get those native plants back into play, removing some of the old buildings and fencing that wasn't good for wildlife and wasn't good for the views. And so really it's a big teaser for the community, because I know people are going to want to spend a lot of time out there and enjoy that space. And we are working on that piece, but it's important to get that right too. But for now, as Commissioner Cavallo says, just even driving by is just lovely to know that will be there. And so thank you all for being a part of that. Thank you for our leadership team for working on that. What we don't talk about often is the relationships and how these projects get done. A lot of these projects involve, family members, some of whom aren't always, in agreement about what should be done with their land. They involve years and years of talking to people and helping them understand how important it is to leave this legacy for our community. And so that work is, there's a lot of work behind the scenes before something like this can even happen. And so it really takes a team. Thank you for the team to be here. And, we're applauding you. And the award is, just, the icing on the cake. But I know that the real reward is preserving these lands. So thank you. And with that, we will stop and take a photo. Let's do that. Okay. So we will
Thank you
be
all.
back in just a minute. Thank you. Hi, we're back, and we are ready to move on to our next agenda item, and that is our county manager update. And Leslie Ellis is standing in
Right.
this week for our county manager. We're grateful for her service. Do you have a report this morning?
No, I don't. Thank you very much.
Well, we appreciate your support through this week and all the times that you've been at the fair and all the events that you've been to, and we just appreciate having you here with us, and thank you for your work this week. So. We will move on then to commissioner activity reports, and we will start with Commissioner Shattuck McNally.
Thanks, Madam Chair. It was really such a special morning, and thank everyone for the wonderful times. Thank you all for what you do. It's been a really eventful week for all of us with the fair and rodeo. We have lots going on, but it's exciting to be there, and the vibe is really amazing. I let's see. I'm just going to share a few things. I went up to we had our visits with the DNR, with Department of Natural Resources. Again, thank you, Megan and Dalen, for the tour. I went to see some conservation easements in the Livermore area, and then we got to go see the Larimer river bison conservation herd, and got to see some of those babies. They were very friendly that day, and it's always such a pleasure. And then we got to Canyon Edge and got to go see these recovery of these biodiversity, which just made my day. I'm taking pictures of plants, and people are like, "What is that?" And you don't realize this is important. This shows the health of the riparian area. So that was exciting. Commissioner Stevens and I were on the CCAT interim policy meeting as we're gearing up for the special session that we hear is coming at the end of August, and then also just ready for the the next year's session for legislation that we are maybe potentially going to present and introduce. I ran up to Estes Park right after that to be a part of the Estes Park Health Hospital discussion on the changes up there. The Phil Weiser and the Attorney General held a community conversation for our community town hall for getting feedback. And then I followed up phone calls the next day. That was interesting. Meeting. It was full, a full room, and then I came down and joined the Thompson Education reception for the new Thompson School District Superintendent, Dr. Heller. Very nice gentleman, and I really press for the relationships that we have built over the last 4 years with Thompson School District in our quarterly meetings. I really ask that we continue those and strengthen, even build more partnerships. And he's looking forward to meeting all of you. And we'll have, Hera and I are going to have some meetings to discuss all the things that we can do together to take care of the students and the staff and how important that relationship is. And then we all went to the Larimer County Fair and Rodeo, the Queen's Barbecue, which was a lot of fun, and talking with community members and getting to kind of already see the activities at the fair starting to gear up. And I want to thank the fair board and the rodeo board and everyone that's involved with the Queen's Barbecue and the work and the volunteer activities that take in and put those all together. It's a activities that go year round, but I think sometimes it seems like it goes off without a hitch. But it's a lot of work, and I just always want to continue to express gratitude, because sometimes when we're all feeling the stress during the fair and rodeo, just a kind word, and it just amazing things and a lot of traditions that we love to continue with. As we had activities, I went and had breakfast with the mayor of Estes, and we had a lot of conversations about what's happening and discussing some of the activity of tourism and stuff. And then I was on a meeting for the MIVAS and some other mobile home or max housing folks to talk about potential legislation. Representative Basenecker was there, and others, and our County Treasurer Irene Josie and all of them. It's an interesting conversation that continues on. And then we had our Indigenous welcome and our boards and commissions reception at the fair. I want to thank the Iron family for always doing a great job and having a blessing ceremony and that land acknowledgement. It's always very special. And the young man from Oklahoma that always does such a beautiful, vibrant costume and does such a a wonderful job with his dancing. I always connected with him last year and this year, and I just really appreciate him coming up. It's a very special time. And then we had some activities, around Fair on Saturday. Really proud of the work that we've done together serving the Larimer County pancake breakfast and all those activities. Again, big kudos to all the volunteers. Donations from the Lions Club and Nordy's provides the sausage and ham, and Morning Fresh Dairy. We broke another record, as I understand, as they counted plates. Last year was a record, and then they ordered more food, and we served, we think, 2,000, maybe a little more, and we had a packed house at the end. It was amazing to see all those individuals, and all of us worked hard serving and flipping. And Lions Club flipped a lot of pancakes, and they worked extremely hard. Want to thank them for their tireless efforts there. They've flipped pancakes for a lot of organizations around Larimer County. It's great work. And thanks to all the volunteers and all the electeds who joined us. It was a special morning, and just really great to see all these wonderful smiling faces. And then we had our first night of the rodeo. The rodeo has been sold out both Sunday and Monday nights. We have expecting another great night tonight. It was great to honor veterans in the suite and on the wagon. A lot of folks associated with ongoing efforts in the community with Veterans Plaza, Honor Flight, and the gentleman who gives out sculptures honoring folks at the every Saturday breakfast, Bart Bartholomew. He gave one posthumously to my father, but he's given out over 1,000 statues that he helps pay for. They're like this in their branch of service, and I wanted to honor the work he does because it is very special how he honors folks and reaches out to veterans to support them and help them get places. And then we also had Colonel Dorothy Kark and Sylvia Ficus came. So I almost had every branch of the military, but it was close, and appreciate everyone coming that night. And again, rodeo board, great job. They worked so hard. And then, we had the sensory day and getting ready for the rodeo again. We had some honoring some 4-H leaders, some young women who have been state champions and with 4-H and activities, and high-level equestrians. It was great to meet some new folks from the Desperado Club. That's a very great club. And then the Berthoud Highlanders. I'll have to disclose these young men. I've watched them since they were babies. Now they're 7, and they're showing their pigs from across my pasture. And I guess they took second place in the age group. I'm really proud of them. Just exciting to see these youth from birth until onward progress through the program. So very excited for all of that. So Isaac, good job, buddy. And just looking forward to another great night. I just wanted to also give my colleagues a heads up. As you know, I'm chairing the Loveland Urban Renewal Authority, and there is an important meeting next week, and we'll have more details as the agenda firms up, but just wanted to bring that to your attention. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Cavalis.
I don't really have much to add. A lot of our time has been with the Fair and Rodeo, which has been a lot of fun. On Saturday, my claim to fame is that I was the judge of the dairy goat costume contest, and I got through that okay. It was nice that Beth came to give me moral support, and the kids were wonderful, and the goats were stunning. That's all I got.
What was the winning costume, Commissioner?
There was not just one. Everyone got a place, and there were 3 classes. Juniors, intermediate, and I think the ages range from 8 years old to 17, perhaps 18. Thank you.
Well, he won't share what the winning costume was, but I bet it was cute.
No, I won't. You'll have to.
Okay, I'll have to look at the records. I will.
You'll have to watch the video, the YouTube video.
I intend to. I will definitely do that. We make a lot of hard decisions, and the goat costume contest could be the hardest decision that we have to make as commissioners. The kids are cute. Well, thank you, commissioners. I'll just share a few things. On Tuesday, I attended a National Association of Counties program on some new FEMA legislation that's coming through the House, at least, some reforms to FEMA. I don't know if they will go anywhere, but they are favorable to counties. And so I know that Lori Hodges is looking at those now to see if that's something we want to support, but NACO's has been in support of that. I think it would provide more direct funding to counties, which could be an advantage. On Wednesday, as I said before, I got to go visit Canyon Edge Open Space and the Bay to Bay Trail, which both lovely. The Bay to Bay, that's right. It sounds funny when you say it. Trail is really lovely and goes along the edge of the of Horsetooth Reservoir and some of the bays, and it's just beautiful. You have sort of water in your sight at all times, and was a really lovely way to spend a Wednesday. So thank you to DNR staff for that treat. It's nice to get away from meetings and Zoom and all those kind of things. I also had my first 287 coalition meeting on Thursday. So yay, another transportation meeting. It seems now every corridor in northern Colorado has its own coalition and its own meeting, but there's some great work that's being done on 287, especially our stretch with some of the safety improvements. So it was really great to be able to share some of that and hear from CDOT about some of that work that they're doing. I know a lot of people in our community do travel the 287 corridor for commuting, and so a really important corridor in our northern Colorado. We talked about the Queen's Barbecue. And on Friday, I did attend the Regional Air Quality Commission meeting, and I want to let folks know that there is a meeting on August 18th at the Senior Center from, I believe, 9 to 3:30 that will discuss some of the control measures that we're considering as the Regional Air Quality Commission. So you can sign up on the RAC website. That's the Regional Air Quality Commission or Council website if you want to attend. You can attend in person, you can attend online, but we're really doing some great work with regard to ground level ozone controls and things that we want to propose to the Air Quality Commission. And so if people are interested in the work that's being done regionally on air quality, this is a really good opportunity to kind of tune in and see what's being done and what's being suggested. So there'll be control measures that affect business and industry, but also, affect our transportation sector. And so some of the things that are being proposed will be shared at that meeting, so I encourage folks to attend. I know we have a lot of people in our community that are interested in air quality. The pancake breakfast was amazing. After that, I got to sit at the Extension booth and talk to people about the wonderful work that Extension does. They not only obviously do the farmers market, as we heard today, but Master Gardeners programs, and they sponsor the 4-H programs, and so, but also do food safety programs and food preservation programs. So they are sort of somewhat under utilized service that we provide in the county, but encourage people to check out Extension and see what services they provide. If you have questions about what's happening in your garden or your lawn or your small acreage, they are the folks to connect to. And then, so on Monday we did, we did the rodeo. Obviously, Commissioner Shattuck McNally was there on Sunday. We have the rodeo as well tonight. And thank you for talking about the Fair Board. The Fair Board does a crazy amount of work all year long. And then during fair, they're pretty much at the fair for 12 hours a day. So they volunteer at the jumpy castles, and they drive the carts around to help people who are disabled or have mobility issues, but they also help find children that are lost at the fairgrounds. And they, we show up at the pancake breakfast at 7, but they show up at 5, and so they are arguably one of the hardest working boards in the county, if not the hardest working board, that actually does work that goes beyond their meetings. They get those sponsors. They bring in that the meat from Nordy's. They make sure that everybody's happy and having a good time at the fair, and they do it, like I said, 12 hours a day during the fair. So really kudos to the Fair Board and the work that they do. And then the only other thing that I'll just mention briefly is that I received a couple appointments from the the National Association of Counties. So I will again be the vice chair of the Transportation Committee, but I'll also be a vice chair of the Resilient Counties innovation group, and that group talks about how we become more resilient as counties, very involved in some of the work that FEMA is doing, and how we fund some of these situations that, because of climate and other situations, we're seeing ourselves with more natural disasters. And so how do we stay resilient as communities, and sort of sharing best practices to try to stay resilient. So really honored to have both those appointments. And that is it for me. So
Madam Chair,
Yes.
it reminds me, I should also mention I've got my presidential appointments for NACO with the Office Environment, Energy, and Land Use and the Rural Action Caucus. So I just wanted to kind of share that as well. And then also the governor appointed me to the State Emergency Medical Services and Trauma Services Board. And I just wanted to make that is official now. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations, Commissioner, on those appointments. So we will move on to our next item, which is an executive session, and there is no decision expected. So when we close out this morning, we will not be coming back, and I will ask Commissioner Koufalos to make a motion to bring us into executive session.
Yes. I move that the Larimer County Board of County Commissioners enter into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 24-6-402 for A, purchase, acquisition, lease, transfer, or sale of any real or personal property.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0. We'll now move into executive session, and we will see you next week, Larimer County. Thank you.